what's up YouTube? So today we are making probably one of the most famous dishes in the Philippines, and it is a pork and chicken adobo. Now people all over the world know this dish, they've probably heard about it. It's probably one of the only dishes they know about. So the way I'm showing you today is the way I particularly like to eat it, just to give it more flavor, more balance, and more texture. So what we did was very simple. We started off by taking some chicken thighs, and then some cuts of pork belly, which we have over here, which we kept a little bit of fat on, and we marinated this with some anise seeds. This is something you don't find in really traditional Filipino. Some bay leaves, obviously, this is very traditional, and just some simple soy sauce and a little bit of sugar. So this has been marinating for about 2 hours. So what's important here is that the flavor really seeped into the meat. Then we're gonna move on to the stove, and we're gonna separately fry the chicken and the pork just to give it some caramelization. And then we're gonna separate that from the sauce and then put it back all together. Let's go to the counter. So first we're gonna try to get just the meat onto the frying pan. What I'm looking for here is not to cook it through at all, it's just to give it that nice sear, which it's not gonna get if you stew it right away. Put that all down here. So this sauce over here, I'm gonna keep all with the anise seeds and the garlic and everything you see in there, and I'm gonna add that to our big pot later, but for now we're just gonna caramelize all this protein. So once everything's nice and dark and colorized like that, we're pretty much good to go. I'm gonna transfer everything into a large stewing pot here. And then I'm gonna take our soy sauce and our garlic bits and some anise seeds and put that right in there. I'm gonna add a little bit of water just to give us some nice sauce and try to cover everything. And I'm gonna stew this down for about an hour and a half until that pork kind of just breaks apart and that sauce just really gets nice and thick, at which point we're gonna add our vinegar. So after about an hour and a half, you can come closer, I'll show you. You see that the chicken and the meat has really reduced nicely. Now I'm just gonna take this and put a little bit of vinegar, so just 1/3 of a cup should be enough. And then we're just gonna let that stand for another 10 minutes until the vinegar and the acidity and the sharpness of the vinegar kind of dissipates, and the sauce will be perfectly balanced the way we want it to be. So now that our adobo is pretty much done, I just wanna top it with some nice deep fried garlic and some onions just to really give us that texture and that really umami great flavor. So I'm gonna put that into a hot pot of oil here, be careful, and onions to be done. It'll be really quick, about a 2-minute process, and then that we're gonna use as a topping for everything else. So our chicken adobo is pretty much done. I have my deep fried garlic and onions here. Now I just want to use a little bit of some raw red onions, kind of to act like a quick pickle, just to give us some acidity and cut that fattiness that's all in the dish. So now I'm gonna get my chicken and pork adobo off the stove. So I'm just gonna put all these beautiful pieces of protein and meat. You see how it comes apart like that? That means it's absolutely perfectly cooked. So now that everything's plated, I'm just gonna add in my fried garlic and my fried onions right on top. A little bit of my red onions, just really bite that acidity. Just on top like that. And weirdly enough, I actually like to serve my adobo with calamansi. And I'm just gonna serve the dish with it. And in a matter of seconds, you have your own little beautiful version of a chicken and pork adobo. And I'm gonna taste it right now. Absolutely beautiful. That is my own take on a chicken and pork adobo with lots of crunchy stuff, a little bit of pickles and some calamansi and some heat with some green banana peppers. Please do subscribe to the channel if you want to check it out and actually make the recipe yourself. And I'll see all you guys very soon. Hey guys, so this video was brought to us by our good friends at Petron. And obviously what's very important when you buy your gasol is that everything is as it should be. And by that I mean that the weight that's inside of the gas is actually sakto and it's actually perfect where you want it to be. Just like when we cook, the ingredients have to be perfect. And just like this, it is. Also, you wanna make sure you're always very safe when you cook, and this thing is always passing through different safety standards, which is very good for you and your house. Peace.